Okay, my bad about that. I pressed something and it started doing that crap right there. So hopefully I got that off the screen and it's not showing on the screen no more. Okay. Hold on, give me just a minute. All right. All right. Uh, First thing first, need to know if y'all can see me and hear me while I put these phones on silent. All right. First thing first, let me know y'all can hear me, and we can start from there. Y'all can hear me and see me. We can start from there. Look like the stream going smooth right now, so hopefully we don't have a lot of buffer like we did last night. So Roller Mouth says sounds good. Okay, what's going on, Roller Mouth? Back Lady Bullets. What's up, chick? Where you been? Sasha, Chacha, B. I ain't seen you in a minute either. What's going on with you? What's going on with you? Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. You know, like I told y'all guys, usually I just come live like this. It takes a little time for people to start coming in, so it's probably gonna be a minute before we get like a nice little crowd up here or whatnot. So, but other than that though, I don't plan on being on here long. I just I was sent the court documents and took a look at it, and it's quite interesting from what I'm seeing in this man's court docs. Again, rest in peace to the young man who you see right there, which is Andre Smith. And for those who haven't been following the story, the man that you see behind me is Andrez Martina, which is the young man's granddaddy. And the young man granddaddy killed this young man, and he killed him by beating him with a hammer. And they say the discipline lasted from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Did you hear that, bag lady? Said Sasha B. He beat him from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. And he did all of this because he thought that this man stole his money. He thought he stole money. All right. I asked a question yesterday. How much money was he allegedly supposed to have stolen? But I don't think I ever asked the question to why he believed that he stole the money. And we're going to read that over here in this documents that I got today. Hey, Reese, what's going on there? How you doing? So we're going to read that tonight. Those you coming in, please get the thumbs up for your boy. And yeah, like I said, I don't want to take too much time on this or whatnot. But I still want to know. I don't know if the mom did any more interviews or not. I hope she do speak out some more because I really want to know what's really, really going on. And I really want to know, which I think I already know the answer. I really want to know, why did she not want him around her children? That's what I really want to know. And I believe it's because he was abusive. That's why she didn't want him around the children, because he was abusive. I'm trying to see if I can blow this up. Should be somewhere. Yeah, it is somewhere I can blow this up. Ooh, too big. Hold on. Alright, that should be cool right there. Alright, guys, let's get into a little bit of this criminal complaint that we got on this man right here. Because, let's not forget, he already had a criminal history. He's already had 5 felonies on him. And for those who ain't been following the story, in 1989, he killed somebody then. In 1989. And rumor has it that it was another child. Now, I don't have any accurate information to say that it is another child, But at this point, I won't be surprised. But the person who he allegedly supposed to have killed back in 1989 supposed to have been a child. All right. Now, Reese, I want you to hear me out with this. I don't know if you heard this. I talked to somebody this morning and I asked them, what's the word on the street as to why they saying the mom lost her children? I saw somebody in the chat room last night said the mom probably was on drugs, saying somebody told me this morning that the rumor is that, yeah, she was on drugs, so that's why she lost her kids, all right? So, again, I can't say that's accurate. I don't know. I don't have any information to say that is accurate, that she was on drugs to reason she lost her children. I don't know how accurate that is. Also, I need to clear up something. We was getting confused about this grandmother thing. We're going to find out there's two grandmothers involved in this story. We were stuck on one because everybody asking the question like how. But we was only focused on one. There's two grandmothers in this story. And he was staying with one of them, which was his mama. For what I was told, he was staying with his mama. His mama disabled. Her mother, Nikita mom, is the mom that let the children go over to the granddaddy house. All right, so I need to get that cleared up too. There's two grandmothers we're talking about. All right, one day his big grown ass staying with, which is his mama, she was disabled, and Nikita's mama, which was the grandmother. Okay, so let's get that clear too. We talk about two different women on this one. All right. All right. So here we go, guys. The court doc, state of Wisconsin versus Martina Andrez D. And I don't know where I got the address right there, Yeah, I wish I hadn't showed that because I don't like showing about the address or whatnot. But here we go. Count one. This is count one. First degree intentional homicide. And this is what it said. The above named defendant on or about Sunday, August 29th, 2021 at 4630 North 46th Street. In the city of Milwaukee County, Wisconsin, did cause the death of ARS, which is Andre. Wait a minute. Yeah, he was born 7/21, July 21st, 2009. Another human being with the intent to kill that person, contrary to Section 940.01, 939.50. Wisconsin states, upon conviction for this offense, a Class A felony, the defendant should be sentenced to imprisonment for life. Okay, for people who are saying that he may get death, he should get a death penalty, but it look like he's getting a life sentence. I don't think he's getting a death penalty. And the reason he probably ain't getting there because he confessed to what he did. I don't know what's the if Milwaukee goes for the death penalty down there. I don't know. Count two, physical abuse of a child, repeated acts causing death. The above named defendant on or about Sunday, August 29th, 2021, at the same address I repeated earlier, in the city of Milwaukee. Andre, I'm kind of scanning through this, or at least these parts I am, where at least three of the acts were violations of Section 948.3, 948.3, or Section 948.3, number 4. So you got 2, 3, and 4 of Wisconsin states, and at least one violation caused the death of the child, contrary to Section 948.35. 948.03 with a 5, then a 939.50 with a 3. Wisconsin states, upon conviction for this offense, a Class A felony, the defendant should be sentenced to imprisonment for life. All right, so you got life on count two. Then you go to count three, neglecting a child, consequences death, the above name. We know the name by now, being a person responsible for the welfare of a child through his failure to take action for reasons other than poverty, did negligently fail to provide necessary medical care so as to seriously endanger the physical, mental, or emotional health of the child, and the child suffered death as a consequence, contrary to 948.212 and 939.50 with a 3. Upon conviction for this offense, a Class D felony, the defendant may be fined not more than $100,000 or in prison not more than 25 years or both. All right. So that's count number 3. Count number 4, physical abuse of a child, repeated acts with high probability of great bodily harm. All right. I'm not going to read all that because it's pretty much saying everything again. Then it goes to count number 5, possession of a firearm by a felony. So he had a gun when he's not supposed to be having a gun. How about that? All right. All right. Here's the probable cause. All right. It says this complaint is supported by the written reports of the city of Milwaukee law enforcement officers whose written reports were prepared through the normal course of police business in which your complaining witness has relied upon in the past and found to be truthful and accurate. Based on a review of the reports pertaining to the investigation of this matter, your complaining witness believes that at 9:35 a.m. on August 29, 2021, City of Milwaukee police officer Thomas Delaney responded to Children's Hospital, Wisconsin to investigate a child abuse complaint. Upon arriving on scene, Officer Delaney observed a child later identified as Andre being removed from an ambulance and rushed to the emergency department. Andre's head was wrapped in white gauze that was soaked through with blood. There was a large gash underneath his right eye. Man, this dude is a bastard. He a bastard. Let me record this thing. I see frame drop. Hold on, let me come my record on. Hold on. Before I start doing all that buffering and shit. All right. So let me get that going right there. He had a white gauze that was soaked through with blood. There was a large gash underneath his right eye. Andre was unresponsible upon being admitted to the ER. Medical staff worked to save Andre's life. Dr. Vidhay, I guess that's his name, Vidhaa, Hefner, MD, diagnosed Andre as sustaining severe blunt force traumatic injuries to the head. Despite the best efforts of medical providers, at 10:50 a.m., Andre was pronounced deceased. At 9:59 a.m., City of Milwaukee police officer Deborah Stacy responded to Children's Hospital, Wisconsin, and conducted an interview with Anthony Anderson, who provided the following information to police. Anthony Anderson has been dating Neil Moore, who lives with her mother, Alicia McCroy. Alicia McCroy is the grandmother and legal guardian of Andre. And ATS, I forgot what his brother's name is, but I guess his brother's name start with an A too. On August 28, 2021, Alicia McCroy allowed both of the brothers to sleep over at Andrez Martina's residence. Andrez Martina is the grandfather of both of the boys. On August 29, 2021, Nia's mother, Alicia McCroy, woke up. Nia and Anthony, Alicia was frantic, telling Nia that Nia needed to go and get the boys immediately. Anthony and Nia drove to the defendant's residence. Upon arriving at the above address, Nia knocked on the door. ATS opened the door and immediately ran out to the car. Neil walked into the house looking for Andre. Anthony Anderson observed the defendant come to the front door, followed by Neil yelling, "Oh my God, you are going to jail for this." Neil ran to the car and instructed Anthony to go inside the residence. As Anthony walked inside, he observed the offender dragging Andre's body from the bathroom into the kitchen. There was a large amount of blood and what happened to be brain matter on the kitchen floor. Oh, Jesus Christ. There was brain matter on the kitchen floor and on the walls. The defendant's entire body was covered in blood. ARS appeared unconscious. Head looked ripped open with the skull exposed. Anthony took his shirt off and wrapped it around Andre's head. Anthony carried Andre out to his car and then rushed him to the St. Joseph's Hospital. Once at St. Joseph Hospital, Andre admitted to the emergency department, stabilized, and then transferred to the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin due to severity of his condition. His brother was also admitted to St. Joseph Hospital. City of Milwaukee Police Detective Timothy Keller conducted an interview of Alicia McCrory, the legal guardian of Anthony and his brother. Alicia McCrory confirmed that the defendant asked that the brothers sleep over at a house during the evening of August 28th. The brothers were in good health prior to going with the defendant at 8:24 a.m. on August 29th. The defendant sent Alicia, whatever her name is, a text accusing Andre of stealing the defendant's money, was to which the defendant responded and check on the boys. On August 29, 2021, City of Milwaukee Police Detective Steve Wells conducted an interview of Cassandra Martina, the great-grandmother of the boys. Cassandra Martina lives with the defendant in the city of Milwaukee, county of Milwaukee, on August 28, 2021. The defendant had both boys sleep over at the residence. Sometime during the morning hours of August 29th, Cassandra was awakened by the defendant yelling at Andre. Cassandra looked up and saw the defendant striking Andre with a hammer all over his body, including the head and the back. The defendant put the hammer down and used Cassandra's wood cane to strike Andre repeatedly. Andre fled the room and went into the kitchen. The defendant followed Andre to the kitchen and continued to repeatedly strike Andre. Though Cassandra could not see past the living room into the other rooms of the residence, Cassandra could hear the defendant continue to beat Andre. Cassandra believed the defendant beat Andre for an hour to an hour and a half. It should have been noted that the great-grandmother is disabled, making it difficult for her to intervene. A search of the residence was conducted by the City of Milwaukee Police Department in top right dresser drawer of a bedroom in the residence. Law enforcement located 27.8 grams of suspected marijuana in clean plastic bags. Y'all know what? I remember a couple of y'all saying he probably was high, and some of y'all saying he probably was drunk. So it looked like it could be the possibility of what was going on here, that some bitch probably was high and drunk, but still, even though with that though, I don't give him a pass, or I don't give him an excuse for this, because this is just too much. This is too much, you know. And you don't even have proof that that young man even did this, but this is just too much, you know. You still a dick and an asshole to do all that. But at the end of the day, you still in the wrong, because you a felony, you got weed in the house, and you got a gun on you. And you doing all this and like you won't go get in trouble or something. He was suspected of clear marijuana in a clear plastic baggie. 32 suspected methamphetamine pills were located in. Oh Jesus Christ! Methamphetamine pills were located in the second clear plastic bag in the room. A glass jar suspected marijuana was located in the bedroom nightstand. The recovered suspected marijuana in the jar weighed 5.6 grams. City of Milwaukee Police Detective Stephanie Seitz subjected the suspect marijuana to a NARC 205 field test, which returned a positive result for the presence of THC. Detective Seitz tested the suspected methamphetamine pills using a NARC 201 field test, which returned a positive result for methamphetamine. A black and silver 32 caliber F&S Cobra firearm was also located in the residence and recovered by the police. City Police Officer Trisha Clauser, I guess that's her name, responded to the Children's Hospital, where she was briefed by one of the original responding officers, City of Milwaukee Police Officer Jesse Bitness, at 9:02 a.m. on August 29, 2021. Officer Bitness was dispatched to St. Joseph Hospital, where both boys were admitted. Andre was in severe condition and was transported to Children's Hospital, Wisconsin. Andrez was treated by physician assistant Therese Johnson for a laceration on top of the head and a fractured finger. Andre had bruising to his body consistent with child physical abuse after being discharged from St. Joseph. Was transported to Children's Hospital, Wisconsin with family after being briefed by Officer Bitness. Officer Clauser conducted a minimal facts interview to OATS. Okay, maybe I'm getting their name wrong. Okay, ATS is the other brother. Okay, I'm getting their names mixed up. Okay, sorry. After being briefed, Benitez, Officer Clauser conducted a minimal facts interview of ATS, disclosed that his grandfather, the defendant, was angered about missing money and beat Andre and ATS based on this disclosure. Officer Clauser, a trained forensic interviewer, set up a forensic interview of ATS and the Child Protection Center. Officer Tricia Clauser transported ATS to Child Protection Center and conducted a video recorder forensic interview of ATS, born 6/25/2013. During the forensic interview, ATS demonstrated an understanding of the difference between a truth and a lie, that there are negative consequences to telling a lie and to the importance of telling the truth. ATS promised to tell the truth. ATS disclosed that one of the above date at the above location, grandfather, the above defendant, was missing money and became upset. The defendant woke up the boys to look for the money. When the defendant could not find the money, the defendant woke up both of the boys to look for the money. We could not find the money. The defendant became even more upset. The defendant started to strike both of the boys in the head with a mallet, a sledgehammer. Damn, sledgehammer. And a coat rack. All this because he thought some money was stolen. All this because he thought money was stolen and still ain't got the money. The defendant picked up Andre and he choked him with a belt. And then he threw Andre to the wall. He picked him up, choked him with a belt, then he threw him into the wall. Causing Andre to bleed a lot. The defendant took a cane and began to strike both of the boys in the head with the cane. According to ATS, his great-grandmother was sitting on a couch and saw everything. Let me pause right there for a minute because I saw somebody come in the comment section. They said, okay, even though she is disabled, you mean to tell me she could pick up the phone and call 911 or either get out the house and go get a neighbor or go call for help or something? Say, you know what? I ain't think about that. That's a good question. So now I'm asking the same thing now. You know, I mean, just how disabled was she that she couldn't even get up and go call the police or dial 911? Or was she scared of this man too, staying up in her house? This man staying up in his mama house, big grown ass man still staying up in his mama house, 50-some years old, still committing felonies, knowing he's a felony, still committing crime while staying at his mom's house. All right. And the more and more we get into this, now I'm understanding now why Nikita did not want him around the children, because she knew how her dad was. Her dad is a menace. He's a menace. He's a fucking nutcase. He's a fucking animal. That's why she didn't want the children around her dad. But now you got to bring it all the way back to her mom. Why did her mom agree to sit up here and let them boys go up to their man's house, knowing that if it is true, the information that I got, back in 1989, he killed the child? Ain't no way in hell, I don't give a damn how many years it's been, once you kill a child, I'm not letting you nowhere near any children that's mine. I'm not letting you around any children that I'm watching. All right? Because at that point, I don't trust you. And it's a conflict of interest to even be fucking with you like that when children is around. Don't come to my house. Don't call my phone. Don't say I want to say hey to my grandchildren, because you know what I'm going to tell you? Fuck you. No. Even you speaking to them at this point, to me, it's a death wish. Even at this point, you just even speaking to them, to me, it's a death wish. You a walking curse. Now, what made this man so evil like this, I have no idea. But I guaranteed you, I'm almost guaranteed, he was doing some stuff to his daughter. And then I heard, rumor has it, he was doing some nasty stuff to these boys too. Again, I don't know how true it is. Don't take it to say that it's true. I mean, try to do your own research. And if you come up with it saying that he did do this, then let me know and show me the facts that he did do it. But I believe that he probably was doing something to his daughter. With the boys, could be a possibility too. I don't know. But reading this man is fucking insane. He's fucking insane. And I'm surprised he only getting life in prison for all this. I'm surprised he only getting life in prison. You would think he probably get more. But again, I don't know how the law works in Milwaukee, so this shit crazy as hell. But just imagine these boys seeing their grandma just looking at everything and she's not doing anything. Not even telling him to stop. Leave them boys alone. You know? Or even try to make like she was gonna call police. I mean, do something. Do something. But it goes on to say that the defendant struck Andre with a mallet to every part of his body. He was bleeding on the ground for the defendant's actions when the defendant stomped on his stomach. Oh man, look at this shit. He got him on the ground, then he started stomping him. And this is why I tell y'all, this guy, I don't think this is about money. I think this is something way more than about money. I don't think this got shit to do with money. This man beat this boy from reading all this as if he had a personal vendetta against him. Or he's angry with somebody, he taking it out on them boys. So he stomped him in the stomach. The defendant also used a sledgehammer to strike him. After beating him incessantly, however you say that word, the defendant carried his body to the bathroom and attempted to rinse the blood off in the shower. Andre's body would not stop bleeding. His brother confirmed that he and Andre just went over to the defendant's residence yesterday to sleep over. And that all of the above the events, all of the above events happened at the defendant's residence. The above listed address on August 30, 2021, Dr. Brian Peterson, a forensic pathologist and a medical examiner for Milwaukee County, conducted an autopsy of the body of Andre. Dr. Peterson found that the skull of Andre was severely fractured, consistent with multiple blunt force blows to the head. Andre also suffered severe injury to the brain. Andre suffered trauma to the back, including hemorrhage around the kidneys. The cause of Andre's death was the result of multiple blunt force injuries to the head, and the manner of Andre's death was ruled a homicide. On August the 30th, City of Milwaukee Police Detective Timothy Keller and Jeremiah Jacks conducted an in-custody interview of the defendant, during which the defendant made the following admission against the defendant's interests. In May of 2021, the defendant returned to the Milwaukee area from Indiana, where the defendant was taking care of his mother. Upon returning to Milwaukee, the defendant wanted to reconnect with his grandchildren. The defendant learned that Andre had a problem stealing. That's what I want y'all to see right there. All right. According to him, Andre had a problem with stealing. So that's why when he had this money missing, this so-called money missing, this is why, this is why he claimed why he did what he did. Because he heard Andre had a history of stealing. I don't know how true that is, how true that not is. But regardless of what, still, what you did was way overboard. Way overboard. All right. But if I had to choose if I believe it or not, I would say I don't believe it. I don't. I believe he's making up shit. He just making up shit as he's getting his ass in trouble. He using that boy for a scapegoat, and I guess in a sense trying to justify what he did. Just like a lot of nutcases like him do stupid shit like that and try to justify what they did. All right? As if they had a reason. Even though they know they're going to get in trouble, but they're going to justify what they did. But see, again, here's the thing though. Did you ever get the proof that he stole anything from? Or could it be you just stay high and drunk? You probably around your little buddies or whatnot, somebody pickpocket your ass and you didn't know it. But you just that much of a damn idiot. You gonna put it on these defenseless boys. All right? And I asked a question last night. The story at first was he wanted them to spend the night to get him some school supplies. And I asked y'all last night, how many of y'all think he really wanted to get him school supplies, or do y'all think that this whole thing was planned? Because it almost sounds like now that he planned to do this, because maybe he got a vendetta against his daughter. That's what I think. So he claimed he wanted to reconnect. The defendant learned that Andre had a problem stealing. So he say. The defendant recalled telling his grandchildren in the past, if you lie, if you mess up in school, if you steal, I'm going to kill you. During the evening of August 28th, the defendant confirmed picking up Andre and his brother and bringing them back to his residence. The defendant intended to take them shopping for school supplies the next day. Yeah, I'm sure you was. At around 3 a.m. August 29th, the defendant woke up to use the bathroom. The defendant noticed that his wallet was open and money was missing. The defendant walked into the living room and confronted Andre, accusing Andre of taking the defendant's money. Andre turned his pockets inside out to show the defendant he did not take his money. The defendant smacked Andre repeatedly, demanded that Andre get the defendant's money. In response, Andre went into a cousin's bedroom to retrieve the money. When Andre came out of the room without the money, the defendant started striking Andre again. The defendant recalled, I'm not killing him, I'm just bopping his ass. The defendant told Andre, okay, you want to play? And grabbed 2 belts and looped the belts together. The defendant attempted to hit Andre with the belts, but Andre grabbed the belts, caused the defendant to get angrier. The defendant grabbed his mother's wood cane and began to beat Andre with the cane. As the defendant beat Andre with the cane, Andre claimed the money was outside. Andre ran outside, followed by the defendant, who chased Andre down and dragged Andre back into the house. Wow. At that point, the defendant said Andre knew the defendant was going to kill his ass. This him talking. The defendant caught what he said to the detective and then changed it to, he knew I was going to beat his ass. The defendant claimed to not know what else to do in order to get his money back. The defendant slapped Andre around, struck Andre with a belt, and beat Andre with a cane. Andre ran to the bathroom, locked himself inside in an attempt to protect himself from the defendant. The defendant picked the lock open and lost it on Andre. The defendant recalled shoving Andre with enough force that Andre's head left a large hole in the wall. The defendant flashed forward a time to when the defendant stopped beating Andre. The defendant recalled seeing a large amount of blood on Andre and put Andre's body into the tub to wash the blood away. Though the defendant did not recall using a sledgehammer to strike Andre, he was told by his mother that he did. I want y'all to hear that. So his mom told him what he did. But yet you still can at least call the police. You can at least still get on the phone and call the police. You seen this and there was no phone nearby to call the police and get this grown ass psycho at your house. You couldn't do that. So he claimed he do not recall using a sledgehammer to strike Andre. He was told by his mother that he did. The defendant admitted to losing control, claiming that he will have to deal with this shit for the rest of his life. Like he really give a shit. That man don't give a shit. During the interview, the defendant admitted to killing that boy. All right, there go my answer right there. He killed the boy in 1989. He killed the boy in 1989 and said he wanted to talk with police as the defendant has nothing to hide. The defendant believed the entire incident lasted from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. Ladies and gentlemen, you like just knocked me offline. All right, let me hurry up with this thing, man. This thing keep knocking me offline and stuff, man. So let me hurry up, try to get through with this. But guys, the beating lasts from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. for 5 hours. You did all this to this boy for 5 hours over some money that you never got back. Over some money that you never got back. Detectives Keller and Jax asked the defendant whether the defendant knew that Andre needed medical care at any point during the above incident. The defendant confirmed knowing that Andre needed emergency medical treatment when the defendant put Andre in the bathtub. Andre kept wanting to go to sleep, and there was a large flap of skin, oh God, coming off of Andre's head. The defendant kept Andre awake and washed as much blood away as possible, but did not seek medical care. That boy was going in and out of consciousness. That's why he wanted to go to sleep. And I have heard stories that people, when they get hit in the head, stuff like that, it do make them want to sleep for some reason. I don't know why. There's a story I did about this girl named Cashla Francis, something like that. She got jumped at school because she was being bullied. She was getting stomped in the head. And she kept telling her mama she just wanted to go to sleep. She doesn't want to go to sleep. When she went to sleep, she tried to get her up and come to find out her baby was dead. So I don't know if anybody been hit in the head to the point where you got knocked unconscious or however this shit goes. Or for some reason what it sounds like is if you get hit hard enough, it makes you want to go to sleep. And this boy wants to go to sleep with a flap of skin coming off his head. You big grown ass pussy. Big grown ass man beat a 12-year-old and then hit the 8-year-old over some fucking money that he didn't have proof that any one of them stole the damn money. The defendant also admitted to striking his brother during the above incident, causing him to have a broken finger and a bruising to AT's body. Finally, the defendant confirmed that the firearm located in the above residence, a black and silver .32 caliber F&S Cobra, belonged to the defendant, and that the defendant is a convicted felon and cannot possess firearms. A review of CCAP established the defendant has the following felony convictions which remain of record and unreversed. Possession with intent to deliver THC. Possession of THC. A habitual criminal, delivery of THC. Felony converted case. Substantial battery contrary to Wisconsin State Statute 940.19. Saddest part about this, that was the granddaddy. You know, the one that we all looked up to. We was growing up, grandma and granddaddy. It was people we could look up to. A lot of times, there was people we can go to when we want to get out of trouble. A lot of time, grandma and granddad used to save us back in the day. But for some reason, they couldn't save us from them, because a lot of time, grandma and granddad get a hold of that ass. You know, yeah, they show you, hey, we may be old, but we'll still get real with you. And we appreciate those kind of grandmothers and granddaddies. They didn't try to kill us. They just did what they feel like they did to discipline us, to learn the error of our ways. If we do steal, if we do lie, if we do cheat, if we do not do what they ask us to do, they showed us the consequences. But it was never death. It was never attempted death. We never had that growing up in the 80s and the 90s. We got assholes like this, which sound like he didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. And we just talked about this on one of the last shows I did over the weekend. How old is the appropriate age to start letting these grown ass people out your damn house? Stop housing these grown ass people. What age do you release them and let them go? And I get it. Sometimes shit happens and you do got to go back home. But it's supposed to be temporary, not for life. And I see that a lot of times, and a lot of people use that I'm taking care of my mama as an excuse. And when you see them over there at the house, mama fine and healthy. You ain't take care of your damn mama. You just a lazy bum. You ain't taking care of nobody. You just a lazy bum that don't want to do shit, that don't want to get on your own. Because what they call them, leeches. Freeloaders. But they use it as an excuse so nobody won't say nothing negative about them. When it should even matter what people think about you. It should matter to you if you want to improve yourself. But again, what I say, people, if they don't say nothing, they're not going to say nothing. But when you do say something, they think you wrong for saying something to them. But at that point, you got to say, I don't give a fuck you get mad or not. I'd have done my job in raising you. Now you got to go take care of yourself. It's time for me to live my life and be free and do some things I want to do. You a big grown ass man. You a big grown ass woman. I shouldn't be still having to take care of your grown ass while you staying in my house. But a lot of parents let these folks get away with this shit. And this is what a lot of them do. Get too comfortable and get too lazy and won't do shit. This man comes to get in trouble with the law, which I don't even understand how his mama even let him stay with him. Because again, it had to be me. I can't fuck with you, dude. You got too much stuff going on with you. I can't fuck with you. But everybody different, though. And then you at this woman house still doing the same thing and your dumb ass in trouble. And now you went way overboard when you did this fuck shit right here. Way overboard. All right. So nobody's going to do better until they choose to do better. You can't make nobody do better. They got to choose to do better. Rest in peace to this young man. This is very sad what happened to him. Rest in peace to that young man. That's a damn shame. And I don't know what to say about the mom right now. A lot of stuff is speculation on the mom right now. I don't know what she did, what she been doing. But I am curious on how she lost her children. I am very curious about that. Lord knows I am. What did she do to lose her children? But until then, I just say this, guys. Stay tuned for more updates. And your man Chris Thorns, and hey, I'll catch y'all next time. This is fucking insane. This is insane.